What if the worst things that happen to you end up being the best things that happen to you? And what if the best things that happen to you end up being the absolute worst things that happen to you? Well, you never know. So that's something, one of the greatest lessons I've learned in my human incarnation so far, has been you really never know. And the mind is quick to judge and label and say, oh, this is going to be the worst thing that ever happens to you, and you'll never bounce back, and you'll never get out of this hole, and you'll always be trapped and stuck. And the mind has a very interesting way of making things seem a lot worse than they are, as we know. But then what has happened to me so many times, it happened to me this weekend. What happens is, these things that happen, at first, we judge them because that's what the egoic dualistic mind does. It judges the hell out of everything. And so it happens and we're like, shit, like here we go again, or whatever. And then it's that very thing that ends up leading us into something that is just incredibly good. And it transforms our lives, and we start to see things from a higher perspective, and we grow and we evolve, and it's like, wait a second, how in the world could that thing, it was so bad, it was so horrible, we thought it was the end, but it was actually the beginning. It was actually what caused us to read that book or reach out to that person, and then this happened, and then that connection happened. And then, it took 2 or 3 months or so, but then they called, and then like one thing happened after the next, and it all unfolded. And then the next thing I know, I'm in this place of pure bliss and goodness. And it was all because that one thing happened. Yeah. Well, then, something happens, and you think it's the best thing ever, right? And you're so excited about it. And you say things like, gosh, this is too good to be true. And I can't believe this is happening to me. And I'm so excited and I'm thrilled. And yes, I love life. And you get on this temporary high. Yeah. And then what happens? Well, before you know it, the shit hits the fan. And things start to unfold in a way that is anything but good, and it actually causes you to suffer a lot, and it's horrible, it's hell. Okay, so that happens a lot. I've experienced many moments like that, many seasons like that, where I thought this good thing that was so great and so amazing ended up being something that led me straight into the depths of hell. But this is the question is, what do we do about this? How do we actually navigate life when all these things are happening? Well, I think there is a degree we have to stop and just honor the fact, because I think there's beauty in this, and we need to be more grateful and appreciative of the times where, the beauty comes out of the ashes, so to speak, right? So I think there's a moment where we pause and honor that and embody gratitude for those moments, because they're like I said, they're beautiful and they're very transformative. However, what about the flip side when the thing that we thought was the thing isn't the thing? Well, that's where this higher awareness has to come in, and this is all part of the evolutionary journey. But this is where we start to sit back and we realize that part of the reason why we're suffering when the thing that we thought was the thing isn't the thing was because we were attached to the thing, and we thought that we needed the thing in order to be happy and fulfilled and okay, right? So this tricky paradigm, this tricky cycle of you never know, and the best things turn out to be the worst things, and the worst things turn out to be the best things. That whole cycle thing, yeah, is a lesson in and of itself. And I'm here to explain to you what the lesson is so that you can transcend the lesson and evolve. That's it. That's the whole point of this video. And a lot of people are stuck here. A lot of people are trapped in trying to navigate this. And there's a lot of confusion and uncertainty. So what is the lesson to be learned? Well, the lesson to be learned is to stop judging. The lesson to be learned is everything that you can experience in this life, in this human incarnation, is impermanent. It's passing. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if you try to hold on to anything that is passing, it will cause an enormous amount of suffering in your life because it has to go. That's how this construct, this is a simulation. It's a school. That's how it's designed, to teach you, to show you, to cause your soul to evolve. It's literally designed to be impermanent, temporary. And that's why there's that ancient, profound saying of this too shall pass. This too shall pass, that kind of awareness, which is deep. It's deep. But that kind of awareness is the same kind of awareness of non-attachment, which is highly taught in Buddhism. One of the reasons why I love Buddhism so much is they figured it out. When you detach, when you're embodying non-attachment, and you're understanding that anything I can experience, good or bad, is passing, it's impermanent, this too shall pass, in that moment you awaken to your inherent liberation that's always right here, right now, in the present moment, accessed through the I am presence. You're free all of the time, in reality, right here, right now. But holding on to things and experiences and events and relationships and this status and that status, oh, look at that beautiful butterfly, is what causes us to experience hell on earth. So, when you can appreciate and enjoy the passing clouds and view them for what they are, passing clouds, there's freedom there because it's passing. And guess what? Like, even, okay, so let's say the thing passes, you feel like you lost it, you feel like it's over. Well, even that too shall pass. That season of feeling like you're alone, feeling like you've lost something, that can't be eternal either, because again, this construct, this curriculum, is everything is impermanent except for the true self, the I am presence. So even the season of loss comes to an end, and everything that we lose comes back around in another form, in another way, but the essence of it is still there. And this is going to change everything when you start to understand this. And I'm still in the process of trying to get it. And there's times where I fall back into the old egoic mindset and I get pretty pissed off about things because I'm so attached to certain things. And there's certainly times, happened the other day, when I'm totally asleep and unconscious in my egoic self, not aware of who I really am in that moment. And I get caught in that. I get stuck in that mindset, in that awareness. But the beauty of this journey, and I've made a video about this a couple of weeks ago, is every time you get caught up or lost in the egoic awareness by being attached to something, the beauty of it is all you have to do is become aware that you're attached to whatever it is you're attached to, and in that awareness, you're returning to presence, you're returning to beingness, which is I amness, which is who you really are, which is where that inherent wholeness and liberation lies. You see how that works? So it's this unconditional return. And the way this earth school is constructed is to dance between non-dualism and dualism. We go back and forth. We go from being in the now to being attached to a thought that has to do with the past or worrying about the future. That's normal, that's part of the experience. But then you return back to presence. You return back to beingness. And every time you leave the present moment and the I am presence and come back to it, you evolve more and more. You learn something every time you leave home. Every time the prodigal son goes out and parties and ends up working with the hogs and then comes back to the father's house. Like every time there's a journey of getting off track and coming back. That's how we transcend. That's how we actually grow in this construct. So let it be. Let the things unfold. Notice that, okay, I'm drifting, but now I'm back. I'm aware. I'm returning to presence. I'm returning to love. I realize that, okay, this fear thing that I just got caught up in is an illusion. It's not real. It's illusory. It was some kind of old familiar thought pattern that I got caught up in again. And yeah, but that's all it was. And now I'm back here. I'm okay. And yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, this is powerful stuff. This too shall pass. You make that your mantra, you make that your primary object. And meditation is the practice, it's the training for life. That's how I teach it, that's my approach. So what I mean by this is, for me, meditation overall is not just a practice, it's a way of being, it's a lifestyle. However, the practice of it is what grounds us. It's what trains us on how to live from our inherent wholeness in the world. It's what trains us how to be in the world, but not of it. See how that works? So in your practice of meditation, which can be, and by the way, I recommend it to be something very simple. You don't have to overcomplicate meditation and figure out like all these things and, you know, oh, does it have to be this way or that technique, or no, like just figure out what works best for you and roll with that. That's my meditation advice. When you do that, practice for a few minutes a day, whenever you have the time. And doing that every single day is going to start to rewire your brain. It's going to train your subconscious how to keep returning to presence. And so while you're meditating, you have a simple primary object. So it can be your breath, it can be a mantra, it can be the sensations of whatever, something that you're feeling, something that you're hearing, can literally be whatever you want it to be. But it's one thing that you're continuously fixing your awareness on, so that when your awareness drifts, which it will, so don't like get all upset or frustrated when this happens. That's part of the dance. When it drifts, let it drift. But when you realize that it's drifting, you bring it back to presence. You bring it back to the primary object. And now you're back home. You're here. That's the practice. You're doing that for 10 minutes a day, if that. You don't have to do it that long. Then you go about your day. And at first, you're not really going to notice any difference in your awareness and just in your responses and stuff. But over time, as you make this a practice, like I said, you are training your mind, you are reprogramming your subconscious to be here now, to be free of getting lost and attached to the stories and the what ifs and the different things and the judgments of, oh, what about this? And this is the thing, but oh, it wasn't the thing, so now I'm depressed and I'm distraught and yeah. No, it brings you to that higher place. It shows you that you are the infinite, eternal sky that's behind the clouds. You are not the clouds that are passing. The clouds are doing what they do. They come, they hang out for a while, then they pass. This too shall pass, but you are not any of that. You are the infinite sky or the infinite awareness from which all things are arising and passing and doing what they do. So meditation is training for that. And, it may take some time being consistent with the simple practice of just watching your thoughts and having that primary object. But over time, you will start to notice a difference in your life. And that's what I teach when I'm coaching clients. That's what meditation is all about. And it's a very individual journey. But the focus is life. Living, actually living. It's not about, oh, we're just going to be obsessed with this little practice and, be advanced meditators and just meditate all day. No, that's not my approach to meditation, at least. It may be someone else's, but to me, I view it as training for life, preparation for life, and living fully and living from reality instead of living from the headspace, which isn't reality. And we think it's reality, and we live according to all these different egoic constructs and beliefs and doctrines and interpretations and all of the stuff that the dualistic mind produces. But when you live from your heart space and you're connected and you realize everything is one and you're living from presence fundamentally, then you see things for what they are. And that's why many of the mystics have talked about how beautiful and divine the simple, common, and mundane aspects of life are that we can't see, we can't recognize when we're too caught up in the dualistic thinking mind that only knows past or future. That's it. That's all it knows. It can't just be here now. So, 2 mantras for you to meditate on if you want to meditate on these mantras. You never know. That's where you start. That's the beginning of this journey. You never know. Stop judging it. Stop thinking that this thing is the greatest thing that's ever happened to you, because it could be the worst thing, or it could lead to the worst thing that you experience in your life. So you never know. Or the worst thing that you think, oh, this is, why did it happen like this? This is it. It's over. I can't believe this happened. I'm never going to bounce back. I'm never going to be the same. I'm never going to experience anything good or fulfilling now. They broke my heart. It's over. Yeah, well, that can lead to the best thing you've ever experienced. So that's where you start. You never know. You never know. And just saying that, every time something happens, that's another way you can reprogram your subconscious mind. You never know. When someone says, man, that's great, that's fantastic, you got that award, or you've got that status now, you got that promotion, or oh, that's amazing, that happened. The response is, yeah, you never know. Yeah, sure, okay, yeah, okay, but you never know. Start training yourself to respond like that, no matter what the hell it is that's happening. Hey, you never know. And that's the beginning of it. And then the higher realization from that mantra is, this too shall pass. And you honor and respect the impermanence of this earth school, of this construct that we're experiencing life in and through. Yeah, this too shall pass. So I'm not going to judge or label anything, because it's all a dance. It's all a journey, and I'm going to learn to transcend it, but also include it, as Ken Wilber says, and be fully here now and allow the clouds of life to pass through me. You see, we think that we are passing through time, that we are these separate individuals who are traveling through linear time, past, present, and future. But no, it doesn't work that way at all. You are not passing through time. Time is passing through you. So, from that higher perspective, you let the river flow, because that's what the river does. Look at it. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's barely flowing, but it's flowing all right. And there's leaves and sticks and all kinds of stuff that just continues to flow down this river all day long. And that's what it does. That's the natural movement and rhythm of it. Well, that's showing you. See, remember how I said, or maybe, was it this video? I don't remember. I said it in one of the videos. I said everything is grist for the mill. Everything's your teacher. Everything's showing you something. What is this river teaching me? This river is my spiritual teacher for the day. And what it's teaching me is, okay, everything's moving, everything's flowing. Why? Because everything is energy, and energy is always moving and flowing. So everything that I'm experiencing right now, everything that I'm looking at, all these different leaves and sticks that are flowing down the river, they're impermanent. And that's what the river is doing, and that's what life is doing in all these different experiences and circumstances, positive or negative, however we want to judge or label them. They're carrying on, and they're doing what they do. So freedom is when you hang out here on the riverbank and you let stuff pass, and I'm not trying to control anything. I'm not trying to stop the river. I'm letting it do what it does, because I am not the river. I am not the leaves. I am not the sticks. I am not any of the stuff that's passing and flowing and moving down this river. I'm here. I'm ever present. And that's what it is. So, you never know. This too shall pass. Be here now. It's a simple message, but it will absolutely change your life. So, that's all I have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.